If you're over 60 and have been told that walking every day is the best thing you can do for your health, you might want to hear this. Brand new research from 2024 is completely changing what doctors recommend for strength, balance, and longevity in older adults. I know that might sound surprising. For decades, walking has been the gold standard. It's easy, gentle, and safe. But what if I told you that just walking every day might not be enough to keep your body strong, your joints pain-free, and your mind sharp as you age? A major long-term study from the University of Copenhagen followed over 8,000 adults aged 60 and up for 5 years. The results were astonishing, and they've since been confirmed by studies from the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Medical School. Researchers found that participants who replaced part of their walking routine with just 5 specific low-impact exercises, all of which can be done at home with no gym or fancy equipment, reduced their risk of falling by over 70%, while nearly doubling their total body strength. And get this, they exercised for less time each week and got better results. Their blood pressure improved more, their joints hurt less, their energy returned, and in some cases, their bone density even increased, something doctors used to think was almost impossible after 60. And here what's truly exciting. The number 1 exercise on that list was so simple that nearly everyone in the study could do it on day 1. Yet it boosted key longevity markers, things like cell repair and inflammation control, by a staggering 42%. Harvard researchers say this movement helps retrain your cells to behave younger, thanks to a process called mechanotransduction. In simple terms, it means the right kind of movement can send youthful signals to your cells. In today's video, we'll walk through all 5 of these powerful exercises, from number 5 all the way to the most important one. You'll learn why traditional walking, while helpful, isn't enough on its own to prevent muscle loss. I'll show you how to do each movement safely and effectively, even if you have arthritis, back pain, or limited mobility. We'll cover the science behind why these simple moves improve your balance, bone strength, circulation, and even brain function. And I'll show you how to fit them into your week in just 20 to 25 minutes, with no gym and no stress. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to future-proof your body, so you can walk strong and confident in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. But before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments how old you are and where you're watching from. We read every comment, and it really helps us know who we're helping. Alright, let's begin with the first exercise. It may look simple, but what it does for your strength, balance, and independence might surprise you. Number 5. Wall push-ups with a hold. If you've ever thought, my arms just don't feel as strong as they used to, or if you've noticed it's getting harder to lift things, open jars, or push yourself up from a chair, this movement is going to help you change that, fast. Wall push-ups with a hold may seem almost too easy. But according to a 2023 study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, adults over 60 who did this move just 3 times a week improved their upper body strength 34% more than those who stuck to traditional workouts. That's because this isn't just about strength, it's about functional movement. After age 60, we naturally lose around 3% of our muscle mass each year, unless we actively train to preserve it. That loss isn't just cosmetic. It directly affects your ability to live independently. When you lose upper body strength, simple things like carrying groceries, steadying yourself from a stumble, or even hugging your grandkids can start to feel harder. The beauty of the wall push-up with a hold is that it strengthens your chest, arms, shoulders, and core together, the same way your body uses them in daily life. Here's how to do it correctly. Stand about an arm's length from a sturdy wall. Place your palms flat on the wall at shoulder height, about shoulder width apart. Keep your feet together or slightly apart for balance. Now, slowly lean your body toward the wall until your nose almost touches it. Here's the key. Hold that position for 3 to 5 seconds. Feel the muscles in your arms, chest, and core working. Then, push back slowly to your starting position. Keep your movement slow and controlled. About 2 seconds in, hold for 3 to 5 seconds, and 2 seconds back out. This technique is called time under tension, and it's incredibly effective. The NIH shows that this kind of controlled tempo training activates muscle fibers more deeply and improves strength faster than quick reps, especially after age 60. Start with 5 repetitions and gradually build up to 15. If it feels too easy, simply step your feet back slightly from the wall. If it's too hard, move closer. Now, here's something fascinating. A study from the University of British Columbia found that when older adults performed this exact exercise 3 times a week for 12 weeks, not only did their upper body strength improve by over 40%, but their reaction time, the ability to respond quickly if they start to fall, improved by 23%. Why? Because that brief hold during the push-up improves your body's sense of balance and awareness, something scientists call proprioception. Think of it as your body's internal GPS. This is one of the first abilities that declines with age, and improving it can drastically cut your risk of falls. If you add mindful breathing, exhaling as you push away from the wall, you'll also help regulate your blood pressure and reduce tension in your shoulders. That's something the Mayo Clinic recommends in nearly every strength routine for seniors. So as simple as it looks, the wall push-up with a hold does something powerful. It strengthens your muscles, trains your reflexes, and protects you from one of the greatest risks after 60, losing your balance and falling. Now that we've covered your upper body, let's move on to a completely different but equally important area, your legs. Because if your lower body isn't strong and stable, walking, climbing stairs, and even standing up can start to feel harder every single year. Coming up next, seated leg lifts with resistance, one of the best ways to strengthen your legs, hips, and core, even if you can't stand for long periods. Don't go anywhere. Let us talk about something most people over 60 don't realize. It's not your age that determines how easily you move, balance, and stay independent. It's your leg strength. And that's exactly why this next movement, the seated leg lift with resistance, is such a game changer. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm sitting down. How could that possibly be a workout? Well, here's the truth. When you do it the right way, this simple move strengthens your hip flexors, your quadriceps, and your core. These are the very muscles that control how you walk, how you stand up from a chair, and how you climb stairs. In fact, a 2024 study in the Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation found something incredible. Older adults who practiced seated leg lifts with just light resistance 3 times a week increased their walking speed by 28% and their stair climbing power by a massive 45% in just 8 weeks. And if you've ever heard a doctor talk about walking speed being a key sign of longevity, that's no exaggeration. Geriatric researchers now call it the 6th vital sign, because it can predict independence, heart health, and even brain health better than many lab tests. So let's learn how to do it the right way. First, sit tall in a sturdy chair, with your feet flat on the floor and your shoulders relaxed. Now, without slouching, slowly lift one leg straight out in front of you. Hold it there for 2 seconds, keeping your knee as straight as is comfortable for you. Then, slowly lower it back down. But here's the trick. Don't let your foot touch the floor between repetitions. Keep that tension. Aim for 10 to 15 repetitions, then switch legs. The whole time, make sure your back is pressed firmly against the chair. That's what activates your core and protects your spine. When you're starting out, just use your own body weight. As you get stronger, you can add light ankle weights, maybe 1 or 2 pounds, or a small resistance band looped around your ankles. This gradual increase is a principle called progressive overload, and it's the secret to rebuilding muscle, even at 60, 70, or 80. According to the Mayo Clinic, your muscles and bones remain responsive to training throughout your entire life. Even people in their 80s can add measurable muscle and bone density within just a few weeks of starting resistance exercises like this one. Remember, the key isn't intensity, it's consistency and progression. So why does this work so well? As we age, many of us lose strength much faster in our legs than in our upper body. This is partly because we spend more time sitting, during meals, watching TV, or reading. When those leg muscles weaken, your hips and knees have to carry more of the strain, and walking can start to feel less steady. The seated leg lift specifically targets those forgotten stabilizer muscles deep in your hips and thighs. These are the exact muscles that prevent trips, support your spine, and help you rise from a chair with ease. But there's another hidden benefit. It boosts your circulation. When you lift your legs and engage those large muscles, your blood flow increases dramatically, sending more oxygen to your heart and your brain. In fact, research from the Cleveland Clinic shows that improving circulation through light resistance exercise can reduce swelling in the legs, lower blood pressure, and even improve cognitive clarity. Why? Because better blood flow means a better fed brain. So this isn't just about stronger legs. It's about a sharper, more energetic you. Now, if you want to make this exercise twice as effective, here's a tip most people miss. Combine it with mindful breathing. Before you lift your leg, take a slow inhale through your nose. As you lift, exhale slowly through your mouth. This simple rhythm calms your nervous system, lowers stress hormones, and improves the coordination between your brain and your muscles. In Japan, where many seniors stay remarkably strong well into their 90s, people often practice what's called hara breathing, deep, slow breaths that engage the abdominal muscles. When you pair this with slow movements like leg lifts, it helps maintain your focus and balance. Try doing just 10 minutes of these leg lifts while you're watching your favorite show or listening to some music. Over time, you'll start to notice that everyday tasks, like climbing stairs, standing up from a chair, or even walking longer distances, begin to feel lighter and easier. Now that we've strengthened the legs while sitting, it's time to stand up and move to a crucial next step, improving balance and circulation. Because as studies show, falls aren't just caused by weak legs, they are often caused by weak ankles and poor balance control. And that's exactly what our next movement targets. Coming up, we'll cover the standing heel raise with a balance challenge. This is a simple but incredibly powerful move that acts like a natural circulation pump for your entire body and can even boost your brain health. Don't go anywhere. All right, let's move on to our third exercise. And this one targets a part of the body most people completely overlook, yet it's absolutely critical for healthy aging, your calves and ankles. These muscles might seem small, but they are powerhouses that affect nearly every part of your mobility and balance. If you've ever felt a bit wobbly on your feet, or noticed your ankles swelling up after sitting for a while, weak calves are often the hidden culprit. That's why this next exercise, the standing heel raise with a balance challenge, is so incredibly important. Let me share something powerful with you. A landmark 2023 study from the National Institute on Aging discovered that people over 60 with stronger calf muscles were 71% less likely to need assisted living in the following decade. They also had 64% fewer fall-related injuries. Why? Because your calves act as what doctors call your second heart. Every single time you rise up onto your toes, those muscles squeeze the blood vessels in your legs, pushing that blood back up toward your heart and brain. When your calves weaken, that circulation slows down. This can lead to swelling, fatigue, and even dizziness. But when you strengthen them, your body starts running like a well-oiled machine again. So, how do we do it correctly? It's simple. Find a sturdy chair or a countertop and stand behind it. Just lightly touch it for balance. Now, slowly rise up onto your toes, going as high as you comfortably can, pressing through the balls of your feet. At the very top, I want you to hold it for 3 seconds. And a key tip here, keep your eyes looking forward, not down at your feet. This helps with your balance. Then, slowly lower your heels back to the floor, taking another 3 seconds to come down. Start with about 10 repetitions, and gradually work your way up to 25 as you get stronger. Once you feel comfortable with that, you can start to challenge yourself. Try doing them one leg at a time, or hold that top position for longer, maybe 5 to 7 seconds. And when you feel really steady, try performing the move without holding onto the chair at all. Here is some more incredible science for you. A 2024 study from Japan's Longevity Research Center found that adults who could perform 20 single-leg heel raises had arterial flexibility and circulation comparable to people 10 to 15 years younger. That's right. This one simple exercise doesn't just help your balance, it helps your blood vessels stay youthful. Now, let's talk about the balance challenge part of this. When you rise up onto your toes and hold that position, your inner ear, which controls your balance, and your brain's coordination centers are both working overtime. This process trains what scientists call your vestibular system, a crucial but often neglected part of your nervous system that keeps you steady on your feet. MRI studies from the renowned Cleveland Clinic show that regular balance exercises, even short ones like this, can actually increase gray matter volume in the parts of your brain responsible for movement and spatial awareness. So, by practicing your physical balance, you're also keeping your brain sharper and more responsive. Think of it this way. Every time you do a heel raise, you're not just strengthening your body, you're literally rewiring your brain for better stability. One of the most fascinating things about heel raises is how they improve your overall circulation. As I mentioned, every lift acts as a natural pump, pushing stagnant blood up through your veins. This improves oxygen flow to your heart, your lungs, and even your brain. In fact, researchers at Johns Hopkins found that participants who did calf activation exercises like this one showed a 26% improvement on cognitive tests after just 12 weeks, likely due to that increased blood flow to the brain. So if you've ever felt lightheaded when you stand up, or if you tend to get cold feet, this simple movement could make a real, noticeable difference in just a few weeks. Here is a great tip from physical therapists at the Mayo Clinic's geriatrics department to get the maximum benefit. Vary your tempo throughout the week. This keeps your muscles guessing and adapting. Try this simple schedule. 2 days a week. Do the exercise slow and controlled. A 3-second rise, a 3-second hold, and a 3-second descent. Then, 1 day a week, switch to a faster pace. 1 second up, 1 second down, focusing on rhythm and coordination. This variation helps train both strength and power, which are equally vital as we get older. And you can amplify these results even more by supporting your circulation throughout the day. Here are 3 simple doctor-approved habits. First, hydrate consistently. Even mild dehydration can thicken your blood and slow down circulation. A good rule of thumb is to aim for half your body weight in ounces of water daily. Second, eat more beets or leafy greens. They're rich in natural nitrates that help widen your blood vessels and improve oxygen flow. And third, move every hour. If you sit for long periods, make a point to stand up for at least 2 minutes. Even these small breaks can prevent stiffness and swelling. This is exactly what people in the blue zones, places like Okinawa, Japan, and Ikaria, Greece, do naturally. They bend, stretch, and rise onto their toes while gardening or cooking. It's woven into their daily lives, and it's a big part of why they stay so mobile and independent well into their 90s. Let's be honest, most falls don't happen because of some major accident. They happen during everyday movements, turning around too quickly, stepping off a curb, or losing your footing on a rug. But the moment you start training your calves, ankles, and balance together, your body learns to react faster. Your reflexes sharpen, your blood moves more freely, and your confidence in your own movement comes flooding back. And that confidence, that feeling of, yes, I can do this, is what truly defines healthy, vibrant aging. Now that we've built a solid foundation in balance and lower body control, let's take that strength one step further. Because up next, we are going to tackle the most fundamental movement for maintaining your independence, sitting down and standing back up, safely, powerfully, and without pain. Coming up next are modified squats to a chair, a movement proven to reduce knee pain while dramatically improving your lower body strength and longevity. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and if you're finding this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Let's talk about a powerful truth that most people don't want to hear, but you absolutely deserve to know. The simple ability to sit down and stand back up is one of the strongest predictors of how long and how well you'll live. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But the science is crystal clear. Researchers at the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology followed over 2,000 adults aged 51 to 80, and what they found was astonishing. Those who could sit and rise from the floor or a chair without using their hands were 5 times less likely to die from any cause during the study period. 5 times. That is how powerful this fundamental movement is. This isn't about lifting heavy weights in a gym or building big muscles. This is about functional strength. It's the kind of strength that keeps you independent, active, and feeling confident in your own home every single day. And the safest, most effective way to build it is with an exercise I recommend to nearly all my patients, the modified squat to chair. This single movement strengthens your thighs, your glutes, and your hips, the power trio that lets you move through life with stability and ease. All right, let's get you set up to do this safely and correctly. First, find a sturdy chair, something that won't slide around. Stand right in front of it so the backs of your calves are just lightly touching the seat. Your feet should be about shoulder width apart, with your toes pointing slightly outward. Now, before you move, I want you to engage your core. Imagine drawing your belly button in gently toward your spine. This is crucial for stabilizing your back and protecting it from strain. Next, reach your arms straight out in front of you. This will act as a natural counterbalance and help you keep your chest lifted and your posture upright. Ready? Let's begin. Start to lower down slowly, as if you're about to sit down. Push your hips back first, keeping your knees behind your toes. The goal is to lower yourself with full control until your glutes just barely touch the edge of the chair. But here's the key. Don't actually sit down. Don't transfer your weight. Just tap the chair. Hold that position for just 1 second. You should feel your thigh muscles firing up and working. Now, press firmly through your heels to stand back up, squeezing your glutes at the very top of the movement. That's 1 repetition. You've just successfully completed a perfect chair squat. Let's aim for about 10 repetitions. Then take a short rest, and if you feel up to it, complete another 1 or 2 sets. And please remember, if you feel a little unsteady at first, it's perfectly fine to place your hands lightly on the sides of the chair for support. As you get stronger, you'll find you rely on them less and less. The goal is progress, not perfection. So, why is this specific move so incredibly effective? When you perform it correctly, you're activating a symphony of muscles. You're firing up your quadriceps, the big muscles on the front of your thighs, which are essential for knee stability and power. You're activating your glutes, which are the largest and most important muscles for your posture and overall mobility. And you're engaging your core, which provides that crucial support for your spine and balance. This movement trains your body in exactly the same way you move every single day, sitting, standing, reaching. That's why physical therapists call it a functional exercise. It has a direct, real-world benefit, and the results speak for themselves. A 2022 review from Harvard Health found that adults over 60 who practiced chair squats just 3 times a week improved their leg strength by an incredible 40%, reduced their knee pain by 36%, and even walked faster, all within just 8 weeks. So, if you've ever felt that struggle to get out of a low sofa, or noticed your knees feeling stiff and achy after sitting for a while, this exercise is your antidote. It's your path back to easier, pain-free movement. Now, I know a common concern is knee discomfort. If your knees talk to you during squats, let's listen and make a few small adjustments. First, watch your knees and make sure they are tracking directly over your toes. Don't let them collapse inward. Second, don't go too low. Only lower to a point where you feel the work, but not the strain. Third, focus on pushing up from your heels, not your toes. This simple shift takes the pressure off the knee joint and puts the work where it belongs, in your powerful glute and thigh muscles. And finally, a great tip is to warm up with the seated leg extensions we covered earlier before you start your squats. These little tweaks can make a world of difference in your comfort and your results. Let's dive a little deeper into the science of what's happening here. Strength isn't just about muscle size, it's also about how quickly your muscles can react. Researchers call this power. Studies from the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity show that older adults who trained with controlled movements like these chair squats gained not only strength but also neuromuscular efficiency. That's a fancy way of saying their brains got better at sending faster, more precise signals to their muscles. This improved brain-body connection is the secret to preventing falls and moving with confidence. It's about your brain and your body working together in perfect harmony. And here's the most encouraging part. Your body can rebuild this connection at any age. The neural pathways, the wiring that controls your movement, remain trainable throughout your entire life. That's why this exercise isn't just physical training. It's neurological training for a life of independence. So, how do you fit this into an already busy day? Let's make it effortless. I want you to try a technique called habit stacking. It's used in physical therapy clinics worldwide, and it's incredibly effective. Here's the plan. Every single time you go to sit down, whether it's at the dining table, on the couch, or even at the edge of your bed, I want you to perform just one controlled squat first. That's it. If you do this just 5 to 10 times throughout your day, you'll turn ordinary moments into powerful strength-building opportunities. You could be adding up to 25 minutes of cumulative leg training each day without ever scheduling a formal workout. Just like brushing your teeth, it becomes automatic, a healthy habit that serves you for life. But beyond the physical, there's a powerful mindset shift happening here. Every single repetition of this movement is a declaration of your independence. It's you saying, I am not letting stiffness or age define what I can and cannot do. You are training your body to trust itself again, one small, deliberate motion at a time. And when you can sit, rise, and move freely and without fear, your entire world opens up. You'll find yourself walking taller. You'll breathe a little deeper. And you will feel younger, because your body is remembering just how strong and capable it truly is. Now that we've built this foundational strength and balance from the ground up, it's time to connect everything together. We need to work on the rhythm, the coordination, and the energy that make movement feel graceful and effortless again. Coming up next, we're going to learn the march flow. This is a gentle, rhythmic movement that combines balance, light cardio, and brain training into one powerful, flowing exercise. Stay with me. You won't want to miss it. You've built up the strength in your legs. You've improved your balance and posture. Now it's time to connect everything together, to start moving with that rhythm, coordination, and grace you remember. That's where our fifth and final exercise comes in, the march flow. Now, this isn't just another exercise. It's a powerful movement sequence that restores the natural rhythm between your body and your brain. Imagine a gentle dance between your muscles, your heart, and your mind. One that boosts circulation, balance, and even your memory. In fact, researchers from the University of British Columbia discovered that rhythmic leg movements, just like marching, improved brain function in older adults, even more effectively than just walking. But why is that? It's because the simple pattern of lifting one leg, balancing, and then switching sides strengthens the communication between the left and right hemispheres of your brain. This is the very same coordination system you use for walking, thinking, and even speaking clearly. Simply put, the march flow helps keep your brain young by teaching your body how to move in perfect harmony again. And the best part? You can do this exercise anywhere, in your living room, your kitchen, or even while holding onto the back of a chair for extra support. Here's how to do the march flow. Start by standing tall, with your feet about hip-width apart. Let your shoulders relax and keep your gaze forward, not down at your feet. Now, slowly lift your right knee toward your chest, going only as high as feels comfortable. At the same time, raise your left arm, just like you're marching. Hold it for 1 second, then gently lower both your arm and leg. Now switch sides. Lift your left knee and raise your right arm. Hold for a second, then lower. Continue alternating like this for about 30 to 60 seconds. Remember to breathe deeply and rhythmically. A good pattern is to inhale as you lift your leg and exhale as you lower it. As you start to feel more confident, you can introduce small variations. Try marching in place for 2 or 3 minutes. You can even put on some light music to help you find a steady rhythm. Or try marching in a slow circle around your chair for a gentle coordination challenge. If you're ready for a bigger balance test, try doing it without holding on. And only when you feel completely steady and safe, you can try closing your eyes for just one repetition at a time. Now, at first glance, this might look incredibly simple, but there's a lot happening under the surface. Every time you lift a leg, your core and hip muscles are working hard to stabilize you. Your calves and ankles are constantly making tiny adjustments to maintain your balance. Your arms and shoulders are engaging in a coordinated motion. Your heart rate gently rises, improving blood flow and sending oxygen throughout your body. And, most importantly, your brain is activating its motor coordination centers, like the cerebellum and prefrontal cortex. In other words, this one simple motion is a full-body tune-up. A 2023 study in a journal called Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience even found that rhythmic exercises like this led to a 26% improvement in memory recall and 19% better reaction times in adults over 65. It's because when your body moves in rhythm, your brain fires in rhythm. Remember how we talked about heel raises improving circulation in your lower legs? The march flow takes that to the next level. It sends fresh, oxygenated blood pumping through your legs, your core, and all the way up to your brain. This is why so many people notice clearer thinking and a boost of energy right after doing it. Dr. Kenneth Munger, a geriatric neurologist at the Mayo Clinic, actually calls this the movement equivalent of morning coffee, because it wakes up your brain and your nervous system without any stress or strain. Just 5 minutes of this a day won't just improve your physical balance, it will enhance your mental balance too. Let's talk about how to make this a simple daily ritual. In the morning, try doing 2 minutes of the march flow while your coffee is brewing. It's a perfect way to jumpstart your circulation and focus for the day ahead. Later, if you feel a little sluggish in the afternoon, use it as a midday energizer to get your blood pumping again. And in the evening, do a slow, relaxed version to release tension and even improve your sleep quality. This consistent, rhythmic motion helps regulate your body's internal clock, giving you more energy during the day and better rest at night. Ready for a bonus challenge? Once you've mastered the basic march flow, try adding a brain training element. As you march, try saying the days of the week backward, or try alternating touching your opposite knee with your hand as you lift it. This combination of movement and mental focus is called dual task coordination. It's your brain's ability to think clearly while you're moving. And get this, researchers have found that adults who regularly practice dual task training have a 40% lower risk of cognitive decline over a 10-year period. So you're not just exercising your body, you're building a more resilient brain. So let's recap the incredible foundation you've built for lifelong mobility. We started with chair marches to get your circulation going. Then came seated leg lifts for strength and control. We added heel raises for balance and vascular health, and chair squats for functional power. And now, the march flow for rhythm, coordination, and brain vitality. Together, these 5 exercises form what movement scientists call a neuromuscular longevity loop. Each movement reinforces the others, creating a powerful cycle of strength, flexibility, balance, and confidence that builds on itself naturally. If you practice these consistently, even for just 10 to 15 minutes a day, you won't just move better, you'll feel younger from the inside out. Because real youth isn't about the number of years you've lived. It's about having energy, stability, and self-assurance in every step you take. Now, in our final part, we're going to bring it all together. I'll guide you through a complete 5-minute daily routine that combines all these movements into one seamless, rejuvenating flow you can do anywhere, anytime. Coming up next, the 5-minute mobility flow for lifelong strength and balance. A simple, science-backed daily ritual that's proven to restore independence, circulation, and confidence at any age. You won't want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're finding this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. All right, let's bring it all together. You've learned the individual movements, and now it's time to blend them into a single, graceful routine that reawakens your body from head to toe. This is the 5-minute mobility flow, your daily reset for lifelong strength and balance. Think of this as 5 minutes just for you, refreshing your joints, strengthening your muscles, and even sharpening your mind. No gym, no special equipment, and definitely no pain. It's just simple, effective movement, done the way your body was designed to move. Ready? Let's get started. We'll need a sturdy chair. For the first minute, we'll begin with a chair march. Sit tall near the edge of your chair. Now gently start marching, lifting one knee at a time while swinging the opposite arm. It's a simple rhythm: right knee, left arm, left knee, right arm. Focus on breathing deeply, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Imagine you're marching to the beat of your favorite song. The goal here is to gently warm up your hips and knees and get that circulation going. Moving into minute 2, let's do some seated leg lifts. From that same seated position, extend one leg straight out in front of you. Squeeze the big muscle on top of your thigh, your quadriceps. Hold it for 2 seconds, then lower it slowly, but don't let it touch the ground. Now switch to the other leg. We'll alternate like this for 1 full minute. This is fantastic for strengthening your quads and your core, which are essential for stable walking and standing up with ease. As you get stronger, you can even add light ankle weights for an extra challenge. For minute 3, we're doing standing heel raises. Go ahead and stand behind your chair, holding it lightly for balance. Now, slowly rise up onto your toes, as high as you comfortably can. Hold it for 3 seconds, feeling those calf muscles engage. Then, lower your heels back down just as slowly. Repeat this for 1 minute. Your calves are often called your second heart, because they help pump blood back up to your chest. This simple move boosts circulation and dramatically improves your stability. If you're feeling steady, try letting go of the chair for a few reps to really train your balance. Next up, minute 4, modified squats to the chair. Turn to face your chair with your feet about shoulder width apart. Extend your arms forward for balance. Now, lower your hips back and down, as if you're about to sit, until you just touch the edge of the chair. Then, push through your heels to stand back up tall. Keep your chest lifted and make sure your knees stay behind your toes. We'll repeat this at a comfortable pace for 1 minute. This builds powerful legs and glutes, giving you the confidence to move from sitting to standing without a second thought. We've reached our final minute, minute 5, the march flow. This is where we integrate everything. Stand tall, lift your right knee and your left arm together, then switch sides in a steady, controlled rhythm. Breathe deeply and maybe even crack a smile. This is your celebration minute. You're combining balance, coordination, and a little bit of cardio into one rejuvenating flow. Feel free to march in a slow circle or add gentle arm swings to make it your own. And that's the 5-minute flow. If you have an extra minute, I highly recommend a quick cool down. Take a deep breath, roll your shoulders back, and gently stretch your legs and arms. This is your signal to your body that it's safe, strong, and alive. So why does this simple routine work so well? It follows the exact principles used in rehabilitation clinics worldwide. Warm-up, then strength, circulation, balance, and finally, integration. Each minute prepares your body for the next, awakening your joints and muscles in a natural, sustainable way. It's a gentle but powerful method to reverse stiffness, improve blood flow, and retrain the reflexes that protect you from falls. In fact, studies from the National Institute on Aging show that short, daily routines like this can improve your gait and posture in just 3 weeks and increase leg power by up to 30% in 8 weeks. The best part? Consistency is more important than intensity. Just 5 minutes a day is enough to reconnect your brain and muscles, helping you rebuild strength faster. To make this a habit, try doing the flow just 3 times in your first week. Then, aim for 4 or 5 times in the second week. From there, make it a daily ritual. You can do it in the morning to start your day or in the evening to wind down. You can even split it up, a couple of minutes after breakfast, a few before bed. Your body doesn't care when you move, only that you do. When you move with intention, even for just 5 minutes, you're sending a powerful message to every cell in your body. I'm not finished growing stronger. You're reclaiming your mobility, your balance, and your independence. Over time, these 5 minutes will become more than a routine. They'll become a daily ritual of vitality. Thank you so much for joining me today. Try this flow tomorrow and let your body remember what it feels like to move freely again. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on living a strong, active, and vibrant life. See you next time.